Namaste everyone and welcome back to LiveStronger. Today we are going to work on our arms, both biceps and triceps. We are going to make sure that we get an amazing pump. So let's begin. I'm going to start with the greatest stretch, 5 repetitions on each side. We have already done this about 48 times now. So make sure you get your 5 repetitions in line each side to unlock the mobility of your body after a long day, especially if you're going to use this as a pre workout stretch, which I like to do it as. I prefer doing it before my workouts because after the day's work, or just to start off, if workout is the first thing which you're going to do in the morning, after waking up, this unlocks your entire body, makes it go through all the range of motion, and you get an amazing pre workout mobility from this particular stretch. So, after just dedicating 1 minute for this, I feel great. Then I can jump into my warm up exercises. Before that, we also do our mandatory deep squat once per day. So, this time I grabbed a kettlebell and then slowly push my glutes as far behind as possible, getting the hamstring stretch, and then started bending my knees, going into a deep squat, holding there for a couple of seconds, feeling the stretch in my quads, in my inner thighs, a little bit on my calves, and then once I've got enough amount of stretch, get back up. Now let's begin with our warm up. For my first warm up, I'm going to do basic dumbbell curls, just partial range of motion, getting the blood flowing into my biceps. Again, you don't have to choose an extremely heavy amount of weight, you can just do with a lighter weight. Now I have done only one set of bicep and tricep warm up for me because my biceps and tricep respond really well. But in case if you don't feel them in one set, I mean the blood pumping through them, you can also do a second set as a warm up. It's absolutely fine. For me, they respond very quickly. I feel fatigue really quickly in my biceps and triceps, so I just prefer to do one set of warm up, just making sure my joints are warmed up. For tricep, I just did regular dumbbell extensions, behind the head extensions, to get the blood going through. 15 repetitions, 15 to 20 repetitions, and that should be fairly fine enough. Again, if you don't feel the biceps and triceps warmed up enough, you can choose to do a second set. So let's go for our first set of exercise. I'm going to stick to the waiter's curl, and again I have put on the anatomical uh, display or the video where it shows how the contractions work in our biceps as our wrist come up, as our elbows contract. Waiter's curls is an amazing exercise to remove the involvement of your forearm during regular curls, and also you can choose to go a little bit heavier because you're using both your arms together. This puts the entire stress on your biceps, so the exercise once done gives a maximum amount of blood flow into our biceps, making them work really hard because forearms are completely absent in terms of curling the weight up. Now I've done 5 sets of it and 12 repetitions. Since we are going to do only few exercises of bicep and tricep, I chose to do the first exercise about 5 sets. Make sure the weight which you're choosing is a challenging weight. As you can see in the video, my facial expressions, every rep feels like a tough rep, and as I come near to that 10 to 12 mark, it's absolutely failure range, wherein without losing my form I wouldn't be able to curl anymore. So that means I have gotten an effective rep or reached my near failure. After 5 sets of that, we move on to the JM tricep press. Now you can do this particular exercise using a barbell also, but I choose to do with dumbbell to get the extra bit of stretch on my tricep. Again, I'm going to insert an anatomical video here for you to see how the triceps contract as our elbows extend. In JM press, you simply have to place the dumbbells on your shoulders and from there raise them up into the sky by extending your elbows and feeling your triceps contract through the range of motion. 5 sets, 12 repetitions. Now, when moving from bicep to tricep exercise, you need not take much of a long break. If you want just 30 seconds of break, say, drink some water. In between these sets, you can take about 45 to 60 seconds of break. That's more than sufficient. I took just about 45 seconds break and kept going as soon as possible. The weight with triceps is just about challenging. So the way I measure my weight is like if I'm going to curl 25 kilos in the waiter's curl, so I take 12 kilo dumbbells here in each hand. So I don't do any kind of injustice to my biceps or triceps in terms of weight loading. But if you feel a little bit weaker on your triceps or your biceps, you can choose to take a different weight. But I like to stick similar weights just to make it more challenging, because I want both my biceps and tricep to be equally strong and able to execute the equal number of repetitions. Again, simple exercise, just lie down on the bench, put the dumbbells on your shoulders, and then start pressing them up. It's called the JM press. Great exercise for the long head. Get an amazing contraction through this range of motion. You can also choose to do skull crushers, but I prefer these over them. For my next exercise, I am going to do across my body curls. Again, amazing exercise for our biceps. Get that forearm involvement a little bit, get that external pump, and again, an anatomical video to depict how the smaller bicep muscle is working here, the brachii muscle, to get that extra bit of pump. Push your biceps out, get an amazing peak from the side. I've done 3 sets of it, 12 repetitions, took about again 45 seconds break in between. If you want, you need not take a break from tricep to bicep, as I mentioned earlier. This particular exercise has given me good amount of blood flow, and my biceps were properly pumped up by the end of these sets. So I just chose to do 3 sets, but when I went for my tricep exercise, I chose to do one set extra, that is 4 sets, because there I was trying to get more blood flow into it, more contraction. I have a better mind body connection with my biceps than my triceps. I would like to change that, but as of now, it is the state. So I try to get more sets or more repetitions in my tricep, get a little bit more work done by them. Again, challenging weight as always. For my triceps, I'm going to move into a regular cable push down exercise. For cable push down, you just have to stand a little bit leaning forward and start pushing the cable down. You have to stop just about 90 degrees of your elbow flexion. You need not let the cable go absolutely up. Maintain the tension in the cable. That would keep the tension on your tricep, and then push down. Try to get your elbows as straight as possible. Get also your wrists, turn them in as much as possible to get the maximum amount of tricep contractions. I've done 4 sets, 12 repetitions with 45 seconds break in between. A good amount of challenging weight. I think I was doing about 25 to 30 kilos here. So trying to get as much as possible. As I near failure, I was not able to extend my elbows completely. So that's where I considered that I'm going to fail. Wherein if without cheating on my form, I wouldn't be able to get any more good reps. For my next exercise, I'm going to do the donkey calf raises. 2 sets, as many repetitions as possible. Simple exercise, just stand on a step up box, lean forward, take a support of a bench or a Smith machine, anything, or a wall, and then start doing the calf raises. Make sure you feel every repetition, every contraction. Push as explosively as possible. Get that calves working. Now, after finishing the set, you might want to just stay in the lower down, heels down position for a couple of seconds to give an extra bit of stretch to your calf muscles. And then I chose to do a finisher set for both my biceps and triceps. I chose here to do regular barbell curls and barbell extensions, behind the head tricep extensions with barbell. So I've done as many repetitions as possible to finish off my bicep and tricep exercises. Now you can do any exercise you want as a finisher. Choose an exercise which you get an excellent mind body connection to, and do as many repetitions as possible for with that particular exercise. That could be anything out of the bicep and tricep exercises library. For me, this feels amazing, so I chose to go with this. Just an empty bar and get as many repetitions as possible. Now for some bit of core work, I'm going to do the oblique twist. We have done this earlier. I'm going to do this on a regular basis to start getting my obliques in shape. I'm going to speed up the video. Pretty simple, easy exercise. Just place a PVC pipe or a lightweight pipe on your back and start rotating onto sidewards. I just happen to bend my knees a little bit to try to solidify my hips as much as possible while I create the twisting motion. A very good exercise to get our obliques working. Now do as many as 25 to 30 repetitions on each side. And that's it for today. I have moved into my static stretches, 20-second hold for both my tricep and bicep. We have done this earlier. Thank you so much for joining me. If you did like the video, and after doing this video after working out along with this video, if you have gotten an amazing pump in your biceps and triceps, please do drop a like there. If you have any feedback, drop a comment. If you want any exercise for me to do and show you, please do drop a comment again. I will try to incorporate that in my plan. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, a sub to the channel would be amazing. A lot of positive feedback for me through that. Now you can choose to do 2 sets of the static stretches. For me, one stretch was fine or good enough, so I just held there for 20 seconds for biceps and triceps. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for choosing this video as your work along video, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day.